We're the 8th day of the Miluim. The Mishkan's been up and down for 7 days. The 8th day. Klal Yisrael is excited. Moshe is excited. Aaron's excited. There's an excitement. Nadav and Avihu are excited. They each take a machta. They come and they bring an eish zara, a foreign flame. They did something that they shouldn't have done, and bam, they're killed. The excitement is deafened by their death. And Moshe tells Aaron, "B'krevai ekadesh, v'al pnei kol ha'makabeid." And at this moment, when you expect to hear wailing, crying, Aaron's children taken before him, when they just became Kohanim and have been anointed to serve in the Mishkan, the only sound that's heard is silence. Vayidoim Aharon. Aaron is silent. Rashi tells us, okay, why is this important? Why is this necessary to tell me that Aaron is silent? So Rashi says, Kibel schar al shtikasai. For Aaron's silence, he got rewarded. And that's why it's important that the Torah told us this. And what was that reward that Aaron got? Vayidaber Hashem al Aaron leimar yain v'shecher al tesht. A tzivui in the Torah is directed uniquely and specifically to Aaron. The schar for Aaron's silence is the Dvar Hashem to Aaron. Is Aaron, Hashem speaking to Aaron. So what's the connection? Oh, it sounds good. He's quiet, so he gets, well, maybe if he spoke, then he should get Hashem speaking to him. Why? Because of his silence does he get Hashem to speak to him. What's the connection here? We go back, when did we get speech? You know, animals, they can communicate, but they can't speak. Back in the Garden of Eden, when Adam was created, Vayipach ba'apav nishmas chayim. Hashem blew into his nostrils, and nishmas chayim. And the Targum says that's a ruach mimalva. The ability to speak came with the neshama. Vayidim Aaron is not just that he was quiet. He was quiet, he didn't say anything. But it expresses the idea of knowing when to talk and knowing when to be silent. The pause in a speech is just as important as what is said. Sometimes not saying anything is of the greatest comfort. Vayidim Aharon. Be developing a sensitivity of speech defines our neshama. It sensitizes our neshama. That's the lesson we hear from Aaron. Vayidim Aharon. By sensitizing and becoming more sensitive and careful in the way we speak and when we don't speak, that gets us a dibur from Hashem, because the more sensitive our neshama is, then the more on a level of nevuah we're ready to be. So that's the connection between speech and the neshama. The more care we take in with what we say, the more sensitive and our neshama becomes. There's a fascinating halacha in Hilchos Lashon Hara. We're familiar that you're allowed to say some negative information about somebody else if there's a to'elas. And the Chavetz Chaim lists 7 tanayim, 7 conditions to meet, criteria that need to be met to consider something a to'elas. One thing is this. He says, if you're able to express the information and get your to'elas met with saying less derogatory information, I mean, you can get the same point across without being so negative, you have to do that. And he brings a raya from Achan. Back in the days of Yoshua, they went to fight war and no spoils were meant to be taken. And they went to fight the war and someone died and they realized, oh, someone must have taken the spoils. And Hashem said, I'm not going to tell you who took the spoils. I'll let you do a geirol, a lottery. Now, if you know how the lotteries worked back in the day, the lottery actually spoke also. It was also a nevuah. So what's the difference? Because if I could find a less direct way to get the same result, you're required to do so. That amount of sensitivity is required in our speech, because our speech is related to our neshama. So let's focus. Let's take the opportunity to learn from Aaron HaKohen and develop our sense of speech, and be careful of what we say and what we don't say, and with that merit to build our neshama to be a ruach memala, a nishmas chayim.